Okay, you guys, look! The box we've been waiting for. Dun 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 dun. The Daily Grind. Favorite planner ever. And they just keep getting better. Y'all, look, I have an owie from I dropped a can of pumpkin. I tried to catch it. Clearly that didn't happen. Let's see. Welcome to the Daily Grind. Well, actually, we are welcomed. We have been here since the beginning. Okay, so look at these treasures. We got more dot grid. I love that for taking notes, journaling, planning. We got the fall escape. How fun is that? We got our, what do you call these? Dividers. Dividers with pocket pages. Our little rings. In case you've never put one of these together before, these are really sturdy. So they're a little harder to get in because they're so good. So I'm just going to show you like how I kind of put them in. And you want to make sure it clips really good front and back. And then look how cute the little pumpkins are. Okay, so we're just going to do that for each one. Oops, see what I mean about they're so sturdy. So if you've had like a happy planner or some other version of a date book that you could take the paper in and out, which is why I love the system. I had used Happy Planner for a long time before. And we were drawing out our sheets of the Daily Grind before Angie had a company. And we would do it together every month. She would do like a YouTube video where we would just all draw them out together. And so this is so much better because you don't need to have time to draw. You can just work on your dreams so much faster. So, no, this is not a sponsored video, by the way. You know, if you just love another human and their style and what they bring to the table, you know how you telegraph, telephone, tell a woman. That's what this is. This is just because I love it. And because it works for me. Because how many times have I bought date books and they were never used, never finished? So then you kind of turn it if you're OCD a little bit like me, so that all of the pumpkins are going, you know, the right way. Okay, so we have it like that. Then you can see the cute pumpkins. Now, this is a little extra that I bought. She started doing these. The first one I got was the holiday one last year, and oh my gosh, Danny and I had so much fun. So if you like to kind of romanticize your life and you need some help brainstorming, that's what this little packet is really great for. So I'm going to show you. We're going to put it in, and then I'll show it to you. Well, if I can get it open. Yeah, okay, there we go. So, Little Fall Escape seasonal insert, a cozy reset for the season ahead, right? And oh my gosh, so it talks about making your own aesthetic, has a little quiz for you. Then it has the months, little calendars, habit tracker, Halloween, look, coloring pages. Just gotten into coloring, love it. The season of story soundtracks and big screens. So a reading list, a book list for Halloween, a much watch list, a movie list, playlist, how fun. Cocktail and spooky DIY dreams. So there's some cocktails, some more musties and DIYs. October series, getting your ish together. She's gonna do a 31-day get your ish together for Halloween because it's her favorite season. So before we even put in our dailiness for the calendar, we're going to go ahead and put this in. This is going to be one of our little tabs, okay? So I'm going to start from the back. And so if you've never worked with one of these are so easy. You're just gonna, you don't want to put too many pages at one time because you want to protect the integrity of the hole punch, the little mushroom hole punches. And so they go in so easy, as you can tell. But I'm telling you guys, since I've used the plastic ones so long from Hobby, well, I did get Happy Planner stuff from Hobby Lobby, but you know, the plastic rings are not, they're not all created equal. So then this starts the cocktails and spooky DIY dream section. And see how you can color. So when you just need some cozy habit time, you can still be having your dream book, your date book, your vision, all that right here with you, and sit down with your honey or kiddos or grands or whoever, your fur person, and say, what shall we do? What kind of memories do we want to make? The reading list, I'm so excited. I already have a couple of Christmas novels I want to read, but I want to get some fall ones. So this is going to be a place I go later today for sure. And then, you know, we're just making sure that they all are catching really well. And the other great thing about this, the reason I needed my new inserts also is because this is the last 4 months of the year. So in the daily grind, it's all kind of based off the 12-week year, where, you know, when you are intentionally focused and tracking your habits, your efforts, your activity, then one can accomplish more in 12 weeks than a lot of people do in 12 months. So hence the importance of the 4-month plan. So you want to have a vision for your 4-month plan. Actually, I was just talking with my team about this. And to do that, you need to have a place to track it as well. So this way, I don't have to draw it anymore and try to make it cute, because Angie's was always cuter than mine, artistic soul that she is. And so I can just use the pages. And y'all know how big I am on ambiance and the aesthetic you want to create. So, especially, you know, if this is one of your favorite times of year, you want to treasure every moment of it, right? In our year of it. So what I may even do, y'all, because I think it's so super cute, is I may hole punch with the little mushroom hole puncher this, because I think she's so cute. Just to have extra in there. But let's put, let's come and grab, and we're going to use this back, what do you call it? Divider. And these are super thick, like more than cardstock, almost like more like cardboard almost. And then of course there's so there you have that section, because you don't want it to get too full. You know, you want to be able to use all the pages. So let me take you over here to the system, since I have needed a new one anyway, and they're always changing. They so listen to everybody in the group. There's a Facebook page that you can be in for accountability and ideas once you have purchased a daily grind planner. And so there's tutorials in there. There's encouragement. Other people show you their layout. So it starts out explaining it and telling you how to do it, right? You kind of do an assessment first of where you are, and then where is it we want to go the next 4 of the 12 months, right? And then you start with, what are our top 10 goals, you know, for each month? So we would just be doing month 1, September. And then we want to get focused, right? So goals and focus. So we'll be working on that later this weekend, the month ahead. And of course you can use this if you don't prefer. I have her calendar inserts that are a little bigger squares, important dates for the month. And then the week ahead. So this is super great. This is like my plan sheet. It's just in a little different format with more room to write, which is helpful for yours truly with the big handwriting. And priorities and goals. So then here's the week ahead. Prep. What prep do I need to do? What do I want to improve? Declutter. Set myself up for success. I want to do more intentionally this week and less of this. I will feel accomplished at the end of the week when. Mantra for the week. Biggest goal for the week. Thoughts, because we all need some doodle paper, right? And then we begin our daily pages. And so this is thebomb.com. So we are, of course, gonna, and let me see if I can show you. Yes, so this past week, we kind of assess, thoughts and ideas from the past week, 3 great things that happened, biggest win, biggest lessons, grateful for, and then how would I rate? And then in a word or two, the week. So, and then we start with, the next upcoming week and the week ahead, thoughts for the week. This is great for me when I'm getting ready for Zooms, coaching calls, etc. And then we begin again with the daily pages. So I'm just going to put a couple of weeks in here, like so. And then I'll save the rest back because I always like to add a little bit also of, let's make them, the dot grid paper for random notes, thoughts, things from my Bible study, or I just heard a great podcast, so I want to make sure, that that's included. So this all, and you notice I start from the back and put them in because that's just the way it tends to work the best to get everything to go in concisely. Now, what I'm also super excited about is now that I have my autumn one, I can switch over from my summertime one that my girlfriend Nikki got me, and that's where I'm going to put the social content machine so that I can start working through it. I've been debating if I wanted it in the fall one, just to make sure I really am paying attention. So we may have to just see how, we may see. We still got plenty of room. We can make it bigger. So we might want social media content in here. We'll have to see. So this one we would probably want to we'll put the next cutie pie. What does it say? Fall into your next chapter. So I don't know if y'all are like me. I don't like my daily pages at the very front because I want it to feel equal on both sides when I open it up to start writing. But again, that's the great thing about these pages. You can just take them out so you can have neat handwriting and then pop them back in. Again, if you're weird like me. Okay, getting all the little things. So let's just see how big that social media content is. Hold on. So here it is. You may have already seen my little story about it. But this is what Angie had written years ago that I had downloaded, printed, taken notes on. And this is even better because this we can use to make our plan for social media and track it. So maybe we do want this. Let's see. Would that make it too full? I think that would be just about right. So that way we would have it with us ready to work on. So that might be our better plan so that we have it available with us. So this is going to be super great, excuse me, for my own journey as well as my people, to make sure that we are training them up in the way they should get. Okay. So we're going to kind of go back and forth here. So you see how easily, though, that it goes in. Just no problem at all. And then what we might do is just put a few pages of dot grid filler in the front. It might be too much. So this will end up being kind of like a workbook, working through it, making the action plan, growing business and engagement, whether it's my groups, my personal, just the fun that I love to just, show our life. And it'll also be the practical of the daily. I mean, look, you get to make your plan. It's spectacular. I didn't think it could be better than the original one I printed, but this is. And oh my gosh, the price point is insane, y'all, as far as a good deal, especially if you want to grow an online presence and need a helper. Not everybody wants to pay a social media person to do it. They want to do it themselves. And or you might be just starting out and be like, well, I can't even afford to pay attention, much less afford a social media person. And so this could be a perfect answer. So then this would go here, so that we have our fun little opening page. There we go. So see how nice that is? It's still not too thick. It feels really good too. It feels like fall. So then, like I said, we could use this first little folder just to stick in a few dot grid pages, so that we just make sure we have plenty of room to brainstorm and we know where that's going to be, where our brainstorm pages are going to be. So these parts are super thick, so that's why they're a little snug. There we go. To get in there, and then we'll open this. I think what it's going to fit 4 or 5 pages. And so I like to leave them in here. The other great way to store extras, like since I have, the whole rest of the planning system that I'll be adding to every 2 weeks, is like in a big Ziploc, like for the freezer, because then none of the pages get bent. But see how easy that just like pops in there. And then what we'll want to do is I have some little tweezery things that are like for stickers. And, oops, did I make sure I got it in there? Nope, I did not. So if you want to double check yourself. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to put the stickers. So like, for example, our categories might be notes, daily, what was this? Oh no, notes, social media, daily, and season, like, because that was our fun, build a life that we love, fall season. And then we just have the little snap. Oops, if I can just snap it like that. And cutie pie pumpkin, amazing. So I hope you've loved that. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. This is definitely a way to create your life in a way that you love. I'm gonna go find my little tweezers, put my stickers on the tabs, and away we go.